So, this is an open letter to Jonathan Fisk, Pastor Father Hans Fien, and any Missouri Synod Lutheran, basically, who's preferably a pastor, but I'd love to get a response from one of those first two or a Missouri Synod Lutheran pastor. But here it goes. Those are the two I'm very familiar with. Orthodox Christians, us in the Eastern Orthodox Church, love your videos. We love Lutheran satire and Worldview Everlasting. The Hindus say, some Hindus say of Buddhism that it's a way of tricking atheists into worshiping God, basically. I think that Lutheranism is kind of a way of Protestants crypto-Orthodox tricking Protestants into being Orthodox, kind of. With the exception of a few screwy ideas like the papist ideas that you guys hold, such as Anselm and scholasticism, and I should probably tell you our view on Augustine. Augustine of Hippo. Some call him just Blessed Augustine because that's what Chrysostom called him, and they won't call him a saint. Some do call him a saint, and then there's a lot of us that see him as a Manichaean agent. I kind of take a in-between route. Maybe he's Blessed Augustine, but he still had a lot of his Manichaean hang-ups, like, things like, original sin, and he almost backed the Filioque, and he almost backed total depravity. And that's where that original sin thing comes in. There's a special meaning for that. We can get into that later, but the thrust of it is our church has not changed. Our liturgy, nothing has been changed for at least 1,000 years, over 1,000 years. I don't think there's any dispute about that. I would say for 1,500 years there's not been any changes. But I know that 350 years the Orthodox will be practicing the liturgy the exact same way that it's being practiced right now. How many Orthodox change the light bulb? Change? What's change? And we have the 7 ecumenical councils, and they deal with Christology. Now, on venerating icons and asking for intercessions from the saints and revering relics, these are optional, but you cannot condemn people for it. So you could live a good life as a fully practicing Eastern Orthodox Christian and never ask the Theotokos to pray for you, and never show reverence to an icon or a relic, even though they're completely biblical. The Ark of the Covenant, the robber that was thrown into the grave of Elisha and hit his bones and jumped back up to life, and then we have the bronze serpent, and then we have Christ taking on flesh, and then we have Galatians 3 verse 1. For you yourself saw Christ portrayed as crucified, even though these people were living in northern Anatolia and didn't witness the crucifixion. But they had icons of it, and the oldest churches show that iconography was around. So what I'm asking you basically is, are you just trying to, because your view on the Trinity, your view on baptism, your view on the Eucharist, it really seems like that this is why the Orthodox have so much love for you guys, is that the psychosis of the Pentecostals and the wacky, endless changes of Rome, out of all that, you guys actually seem to cobble together basically orthodoxy. Now, the Filioque, you guys are extremely smart. I don't understand why you don't see through that as just horrifying that would be in there, and that it's... I have videos on that. No, it doesn't work. I'll make a separate video, I guess, for that. But I want to make this short, and I'm speaking from the heart. You guys say it's like herding cats. Well, here's the thing. I became part of the Eastern Orthodox Church. 1, because I saw worship happening there. 2, there was no change. And that meant no change on, are we going to become pro-choice? Are women going to become priests? All this kind of stuff. And that I knew the church always had problems. But that's the church. That is the church. Rome went its own way and became the first Protestant church. And then 500 years later, you had a bunch of people who thought they were the Pope, like Calvin and Henry VIII and Luther, who many people see as New Marcion. And Zwingli, and then they spawned all these other weirdos. You can believe what you guys believe inside the Eastern Orthodox Church, basically. It is the one true church, right? The fantastic thing is that you guys accept the Trinity, accept the Nicaea Constantinopolitan Creed, albeit with that horrid Filioque in it. Eucharist, baptism. You guys are Christians, and it's almost like you're Orthodox. I don't know what it is. Is there an ethnic barrier? Because we have the OCA. The Antiochians are very welcoming. Maybe don't go to the Greeks, because they're really proud about being Greek. But when one comes to Sola Scriptura, no, it's in Ecclesia, Sola Ecclesia. The church wrote, edited, and compiled that New Testament, and actually the Bible itself. I mean, if it didn't, those writings have no authority. Granted, it is the crown jewel of tradition, but it's not scripture and tradition. It is all tradition. And Paul tells us in 2 Thessalonians and in 1 Timothy to hold to the traditions. Not just what he taught in letters, but what he spoke in words. And he lived with the Thessalonians for like 18 months, 2 years. What we have is two letters. One that's like five paragraphs, one that's 3. You don't think there was more? And the sign of the cross, all this kind of stuff. And you guys agree, right? But where does Josiah Trenum go wrong, right? Father Josiah Trenum. I would just ask you that. So, I don't know. Am I misunderstanding something? Am I an awful, godless heretic who's part of the whore of Babylon and am going to burn in hell, and I'm a Mary worshiper and all this kind of nonsense? I don't know. With every Lutheran satire video that I've seen, every Worldview Everlasting video I've ever seen, you have more in common with the Eastern Orthodox Church than you do any Protestant branch, Arminians, Calvinist, Pentecostal, all these different factions, and even the other forms of Lutheranism that are wacky. And certainly we have more in common with you than probably with Rome. I mean, what part of the 7 ecumenical councils are not correct? That's what I don't get. But I think the Orthodox would accept those, or the Lutherans would, or or at least you guys would. You seem smart, and I believe you're Christians, and you do a great job evangelizing. But again, you got to admit that our liturgy and our hymns are far more ancient, far more superior, and far more historically accurate. Peace to you and God bless you. And please pray for the persecuted Syriac Orthodox Christians and Antiochian Orthodox Christians who are being slaughtered right now, as well as the Copts. May God save Serbia, Syria, and Ireland. Peace to you, brothers. And please respond to me. This is something that's been burning in me. I even called up Jonathan Fisk before he moved from Naperville, Illinois, when I was living in Aurora, and he said, oh, you tried to suggest me somebody else. Couldn't get a hold of the guy. So I'll take any Missouri Synod Lutheran. But I'm really looking at you, Jonathan Fisk, and Pastor Hans Fien. Peace to you. And again, please pray for the ancient see of Antioch that is now in Damascus, and the Christians that, oh my God, the horrors that wow. All right, I'm just gonna end it there. Peace to you.